Welcome to Sassafras Valley.
Well, welcome. Got a small project here, but I thought this might be of interest to some of you. I've got to clear out some underbrush here. Project is, I've got a down tree there, runs right across there, another one that runs up like that. They've been down long enough, the wood's dry, it's ready to burn. Got a standing dead tree right here, and another one, two, right over here. Okay, but these are blackberry briars, and there's quite a few of them in here, and I really can't get my tractor in here and do much as far as mowing. Oh, by the way, there's another standing dead right here. See, it's that one right there, and there's all that over there. So there's quite a bit of opportunity here. If I can get in here with my chainsaw, I can cut them up. This one here is going to be too rotten. I'll just have to make it in small enough pieces I can carry it out of here with my grapple. But anyway, I'd like to clear this underbrush up out of here. And couldn't do it with my tractor, so I guess I'm going to have to do it with the brush eater, the weed eater. And I have two different types. I thought this might be an interesting place to show you what the difference is between those two different brush cutters. And I'll lay them out here and I'll show you what they are. So I have a regular weed eater, rotary weed eater. It's an FS85 Stihl. It's equipped with a set of bicycle handlebars, I think they call them. Okay, and on it I have a 4-blade cutter. I could put a fine tooth blade, but I find that this is actually better for smaller brush. I do have some trees out here, some small trees and things like that, but I brought the chainsaw. And the other is a combi unit. It's a KM 94R. Has a little more power than does FS85, but it's equipped with the regular handle, and I don't remember what they call this, but that has a stabilizer bar or control bar on it. But it has Power Scythe on it. Okay? Power Scythe is like a shortened version of a hedge trimmer. It's shorter, but the teeth are also stouter, and it can cut up to 3/4 inch diameter. And it weighs a bit more than does the regular cutter, the FS85. But they do similar jobs, but they do it differently. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I'll use the regular brush cutter first with the 4-blade on it, and do a little work around here and show you how it works in this, and then we'll compare that, or contrast that, perhaps be a better word, with what happens when you use the Power Scythe. I'll get everything set up and we'll give it a go. here we have it. Two different cutters. There's the Power Scythe. This is the bottom side of them. Okay. It's adjustable to several different angles. As you can see around here, you pull back on this to release it here. See, it locks there, and then you turn this, you move the handle to locate it where you want it and lock it in one of those holes. I only have one hand to do it with, but at any rate, and then of course you've all seen the 4-blade cutters, or the 4 tooth cutters, I guess, and they attach like this. Okay, this will cut a smaller swath. I think that's I think that's an 8-inch blade, and this is 12-inch. But I find that the extra weight of this, combined with the fact that it's farther away from the handle, and you cannot move this handle up. I suppose I could fit it in here, but it really needs to be down here, okay, and hold it here instead of there, but you don't have near the control gripping it here, because from there, the end of that blade is probably 3.5 feet. So it gets to be very heavy and pretty hard to maneuver. Of course, depending on how strong you are, you might not notice as much as I do. This one here is much more compact, and on this one, of course, I have the bicycle handles, which makes a big difference. It reduces your ability to maneuver and increases your control and reduces the strain in handling the machine. But the biggest difference I find is that all of the cutting portions of this are behind or inside of the radius you'll be cutting, because I might be cutting back here, or I might be cutting up here, okay? And so once in a while, when you're doing a backswing, you swing it across, and when you swing it back, then you'll hit a stop with that right there, but it rolls around, okay? Or you just move it forward just a little bit, or to the rear just a little bit, and it'll move around that stop it's sticking up. With this, you've got all of this from here back to here, slightly below the blade. But from here all the way back to here, if you'll look at that, that is about 3/4 of an inch hanging down below that blade. And when you try to make a backstroke, you hit it. And then when you move forward to the next stroke, you have to cut higher, or the stobs will hit on here as well. You can see that if I cut it here and I moved it forward just this much, that stob is going to be hitting right here. So all in all, I suppose there's some situations where this might be an ideal tool, okay? There are some situations, because it does cut pretty clean. The teeth shear off pretty clean compared to a blade, especially now that I've used that some and it's gotten a bit dull. But I don't find it to be as handy as I thought it would when I bought it. Okay, if I'm trimming along the edge of the barn or a shed, I can run this along the edge and it will cut cleanly, and it won't injure or damage the barn other than perhaps a slight scratch. This one here, if you get it too close, it'll actually cut through it, but it'll certainly mangle metal siding, wood siding, and mark up block walls pretty bad too. And I think if you were cutting, let's say that you had a garden and you wanted to get rid of your sweet corn, and you could just go down that row and mow it down, this would be the perfect answer. There are other examples. If you were mowing soft materials, this does cut grass pretty well. Or if you had some other type of area that you wanted to have nice and flat and not have the materials, you know how this type of cutter right here is not going to cut grass. It don't do it. So that might be the sweet spot for this. I don't know, but I can tell you now that I'm not really as pleased with this thing as I thought I'd be when I bought it. And after 2 years, I think I'm going to hang it back in the shop and go ahead and use this option over here. Do appreciate you watching, and you have nothing less than a wonderful day.